I will never curtsy to you. Laverne Cox belittles Meghan Markle during speech at Storytellers. The tension in the room was palpable as Laverne Cox strode up to the podium, her eyes blazing with a defiant intensity. The acclaimed actress and LGBTQ+ advocate had been asked to speak at the 2024 Tribeca Festival's Storytellers event, which featured a star-studded lineup of diverse creatives sharing their experiences and insights. But as Cox began her remarks, it quickly became clear that she had something else on her mind, a personal score to settle with one of the event's attendees, none other than Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Earlier today, I had an encounter with Meghan Markle backstage that has been weighing heavily on me, Cox announced, her voice dripping with barely contained anger. She demanded that I curtsy to her, as is tradition when meeting a member of the British royal family. But I'm here to say, in front of all of you, that I will never, ever curtsy to Meghan Markle or any other royal. The audience erupted into shocked murmurs, many exchanging bewildered glances. Meghan Markle, who was seated in the front row, visibly recoiled at Cox's public rebuke. You see, I know what it's like to be a woman of color in this industry, to have to fight for respect and validation, Cox continued, her voice rising with emotion. And Meghan may have married into the royal family, but that doesn't make her any better than the rest of us. In fact, her entitled attitude and demand for deference is exactly the kind of behavior we should be challenging, not reinforcing. Cox went on to recount the backstage encounter in vivid detail, explaining how Markle had approached her and insisted that she perform the traditional curtsy. But Cox had firmly refused, stating that she did not recognize the authority of the British monarchy and would not subjugate herself in that way. Meghan tried to play the race card, saying that as a fellow woman of color, I should understand the importance of honoring royal protocol, Cox said, her jaw set in a hard line. But I'm here to tell her and everyone else that my blackness and my womanhood are not bargaining chips to be used to maintain outdated systems of oppression. The audience erupted into thunderous applause, many leaping to their feet in a show of support for Cox's impassioned stance. Markle, meanwhile, sat silently, her face flushed with a mixture of embarrassment and indignation. In the days that followed, Cox's speech quickly went viral, sparking a heated debate across social media and beyond. Some praised the actress for her courage in standing up to Markle's perceived entitled behavior, while others accused Cox of being disrespectful and undermining important cultural traditions. Markle herself remained largely silent on the issue, issuing only a brief statement through her representatives calling for mutual understanding and respect between all members of the public. But Cox remained unapologetic, doubling down on her position in subsequent interviews. Look, I have the utmost respect for the struggles that Meghan has faced as a woman of color in the public eye, she said. But that doesn't give her a free pass to demand deference from others. We're all human beings, and no one should be treated as if they're above the rest of us just because of their royal connections. Cox went on to emphasize the importance of using one's platform to challenge systems of oppression rather than reinforcing them. At the end of the day, the British monarchy is a relic of colonialism and white supremacy, she stated. And if we're going to achieve true equality and justice, we have to be willing to stand up to that kind of power, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. As the fallout from the incident continued to reverberate, it became clear that Cox's bold stance had struck a chord with many, resonating as a powerful act of resistance against the trappings of privilege and entitlement. Whether Meghan Markle would heed the message or double down on her own perceived royal prerogatives remained to be seen. But one thing was certain. Laverne Cox had made it abundantly clear that she would never, ever curtsy to anyone.